Hello there, welcome to another episode. This is just a bit of fun, this one, but it might be interesting for portrait artists, just to show how I go about doing a freehand portrait. The first thing I do is look for the angle of tilt of the face. I also rough out the basic oval shape of the face. Some people have got fatter faces than others. I work out that relationship between the height to the width of the face, and then I start looking for recognizable shapes within that face. One of the features to Boris's face is that his eyes droop down at the edges, so I'll mark the angle of where those eyes droop. Straight lines, just marking out the angle of things. The angle of the nose as well, it gives that sort of triangular shape. I mark the bottom of the nose, I mark where the eyebrows are, a little mark where the mouth is. Once I've got those sort of recognizable shapes, like a scaffold, isn't it? Then I start to lay some of the foundations of the portrait, put some of the skin tones in, and then I move from the straight line phase to looking for the light. Where is the light falling? Because you can often get a likeness just simply by concentrating on the light and the shadow within the facial structure. So it's sort of two layers of reality. It's the basic shapes, but it's also a three-dimensional form, isn't it? And the light takes us into that three-dimensional level. And working together, that's where the likeness is coming from. So I knew by this point that proportionally I'd sort of managed to get him. So it was just from this stage, really, it's just a matter of embellishing and enhancing details and things. I'm certainly no expert with the iPad at all. It's all on one layer. I must get into learning a bit more about Procreate and how to be clever with layers and things. But this, it's just as if I'm painting. I'm just putting colours down on top of other colours, just as I would do in say a pastel painting, gradually building it up. But the important thing happened right at the beginning. It was those shapes, seeing how certain shapes relate to other shapes, making sure that neighbouring shapes are the same size, the same proportions. Once you've got that, and then you switch over to light versus shadow, usually you're in the right position to be able to then start shifting towards putting details in. It's that movement from larger shapes to finally small detailed shapes. The common mistake in portrait painting is when you move to detail too quickly, and then suddenly you realise that your eyes, although wonderfully rendered, don't quite fit with the size of the face or that sort of thing, or they're in slightly the wrong position. It's by doing these big shapes first and being comfortable with where they are that you can accurately place those finer small shapes. And then what a gift Boris has given us with this wonderful hair. It always helps with any portrait if there's some defining characteristic that you can really bring out in your painting.
I know he's worried about free trade deals with America, but there's only one chlorinated chicken that I can see in this house, and he's on that bench. Will he confirm again? Will he confirm?
And so, love him or loathe him, he's certainly a great character for a portrait. And with that, please remember to like some tribe and dress like William Tell if you never want to miss with your new bow.
And you've cared so deeply for the rights of backbenchers that you've done more than anyone since Stephen Hawking to stretch time in this particular session. And as we come to the end of what must be the longest retirement since Frank Sinatra, Mr. Speaker, wages